Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. Excuse the noise today. I'm down here at Arcadia. It's under construction. There's some trucks going by, but I may have to stop the video every now and then. But anyway, so you want to buy a motorcycle. You and the wife are a little bit older, and maybe you're empty nesters. There's only one question you need to ask, and that is, what am I going to do with it? Well, are you going to tour? Are you going to stick the wife on the back? Maybe go away for the weekend? I guess a touring bike would be okay. Don't get a touring bike because it's the new happening thing, and you need to build the engine and burn the tires off and do all that. You know, if you're 30 years old or you're young, you got money to spend, go ahead. But when you're older like me, you tend to think a little bit different. I thought I would share the experience the wife and I have had, because the one bike that we bought turned into 5. And it'll probably be the same with you. As your life changes, so does your requirements change. Anyway, we were empty nesters, and we were in Colorado. We had just moved there, maybe a year or two before, and we said, wow, kids aren't here. We need to do something to keep busy. Because the wife and I, looking at each other, said, is this it? Now, you're never going to replace that huge hole when the kids leave, but you got to keep busy. And first thing we did was we went skiing up in the mountains, which was fun for the first 1 or 2 times. But if you are old enough to remember Wild Wild World of Sports and that skier coming down, and that was me. And the ski patrol had to come get me, and then the wife waved at me as she's going down. The ski patrol got her too. That was the end of our skiing. So we get home, and before the next weekend, the wife says, why don't you go buy us 2 motorcycles? And I thought, am I hearing that right? And she says, really, you used to ride? Let's get 2 motorcycles. I said, okay, if you're serious. So we took the class. We both aced it, by the way. And we bought 2 Yamaha 650 Roadstars. We had more fun on those bikes up in the mountains of Colorado than I've really ever had since. They're just the right horsepower, and they got plenty of torque. When you learn to ride in the mountains, you can pretty much ride anywhere. Sorry about the noise. But we did. Anyway, she got invited by her cop friends to join a law enforcement motorcycle club, so we did. We had to get bigger bikes. She got a Roadstar 1100, and I got a Roadstar, I don't know, 1600 or 1700. Paul Sr. just did a chopper out of that same bike, Orange County choppers. It turned out beautiful, and he actually fell in love with that bike because, well, it's nothing goes wrong with those damn things. The electronics are great, and they're very powerful motorcycles. And I really loved mine. But we also did a tour of 5 states in 9 days and realized that those motorcycles probably weren't the best. Although we went all over the West with them. So we came back, and I ended up getting my first electric line, and she ended up getting a Honda automatic, a CX 700 or something, and she loved that bike. She had problems with her back, and she loved the automatic transmission, and we would go all kinds of places. that lasted for a while until she really couldn't ride anymore. She actually ended up crashing that bike in the mountains, but that's another story. She didn't even get hurt. No bruises, no anything. But that's a story for another time. But I ended up trading that in for my first road glide, which I loved. I still did hundreds and thousands of miles, even though she was home. Sometimes I would take her with me, but mostly her back hurt too much, and it would just be me alone. And sometimes I would fly her to wherever I was going. And loved that bike. But, and it was great for going up in the mountains with my friend Dave. He had his Road King. But when I got to Florida, well, that twin cam would not handle the heat. So instead of really thinking through what I was going to do with my motorcycle, I bought another road glide. And I liked it. And it was a 2020. It was brand new at the time. And of course, it had its problems. That was the year of the C word. But I ended up just dumping a bunch of money into that thing. So if you're thinking you're going to bow under the pressure of maybe getting out with your buds and getting a 1,000-pound touring bike, you should probably think twice about it. You're not a young man anymore. But I ended up selling that thing. And it was the best thing I ever did. My touring days were now over. And I just needed something else for just a weekend bike, or maybe going away for the weekend. And the road glide just wasn't doing it for me. It was just, my shoulder's bad now, and just throwing around a 1,000-pound bike is just not worth it. And then I got the Heritage. And this is one of my last bikes. I'm still thinking about one more that's actually smaller. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. Because a lot of it depends on the traffic up here. If we ever move to a place that has more country roads, it's going to be a consideration for me. But you'll end up having, I don't know, 4, 5, maybe 6 bikes. As your life changes, comes another truck. So do your needs change. And you're going to find out the first bike's very important, and your last bike is very important. It's going to have to fit your lifestyle. Man, I picked the wrong spot. Both when you're first riding and then your later years in riding, when you figure out what it is you're going to end up with. Figuring out what you really want to do is the most important question you'll ever ask yourself when it comes to getting a motorcycle. And you're going to ask yourself that with every motorcycle that you get. What am I going to do with it? And then you're going to have to plan accordingly. So get that motorcycle. It's a good thing, but remember, what are you going to do with it?